Good morning to all the faculty members. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am, for your response. Uh, so today is the last formal session, and we are on the 7th day of this faculty development program. Right. Today I can understand it's Sunday, but there's no way I could have avoided this Sunday because when you have this 7 days, so naturally Sunday is going to fall in place and you can't avoid it. So mm, I, although I am thankful to you for your presence, and I expect more number of participants to join in a short while, and they will be joining from home obviously today. So mm, anyways, thank you so much for joining, and we will be starting our session as soon as our uh, uh, guest speaker for today joins. Today we have with us Professor Dr. Amit Sareen. He is Director and Professor of Physics, and he is working in the IK Gujral Punjab Technical University. So again, a very resourceful person, and we are fortunate to have him here today. So he will be joining in a short while, and then we will start our session. I try to keep sessions to begin on time and to finish on time. Fine. Okay. Once he joins, we'll start the session. Thank you everyone for joining. Morning, sir. Can you hear me? Professor Amit Sareen, sir.
Yes, sir. Very good morning, Dr. Mukesh.
Yes, I think
Am I audible, sir, properly?
yes, you are audible, but you are not visible. Like your camera is off or what?
Yeah. Is it okay now?
Yes, yes, sir. Absolutely fine.
Right. Now, may I share the screen now?
Yeah, you can check. You can check before we start.
Sure.
You,
Is it visible, sir?
yes, sir. It's visible.
I think so. It's fine now.
Yeah, absolutely fine, sir.
Okay. Okay. Sure.
Right, sir. Uh, just a minute more, and then we'll start.
Perfect. Perfect.
Right, right. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
But am I properly audible, or do I need to have headphones?
No, sir. You are properly audible.
Okay. Good.
Right. Today it's raining in Jaipur.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even at Amritsar, it's pleasant. Pleasant is there. So, yesterday it was raining here also.
Yeah, it's a pleasant weather outside.
Yeah. Same here.
Right.
Same here. And this is the last session.
Yeah, sir. In fact, today, I mean, strength may remain affected because of Sunday coming in place, right? It's Sunday today. So, but I am quite hopeful that they'll join. Like,
I think that is okay. That is okay.
yeah.
It's perfectly
So,
okay.
so we had nearly 250 registrations for this FDP session from all across India. Faculty members have joined, and daily attendance is above 170 or so. So 170 faculty members, they join it every day.
Okay, that's really
Yeah.
very yeah.
Yeah. So, so sir, shall we start now?
Yeah, sure, sir, sure.
Okay, okay. So, good morning to all the faculty members. Welcome to the last formal session of this 7 days of faculty development program. The eminent speaker for this session is Professor Dr. Amit Sareen. He is director and professor in physics from Indra Kumar Gujral Punjab Technical University, Amritsar. He did his MSc honors in physics from Guru Nanak Dev University, Amritsar, and then PhD from IKG Punjab Technical University. His research focuses on storage, oxidation stability of biodiesel, and other major properties of biofuel and biodiesel. He has more than 20 years of teaching and research experience. He has authored more than 15 books with national and international publishers like Royal Society of Chemistry, UK, and Ville. He has published many research papers in high impact factor journals of Elsevier, Springer, ACS, and in many conferences. He is also in the review board of journals of Elsevier, Springer, RSC, and ACS. He has got the certificate of outstanding contribution in reviewing from journal Fuel of Elsevier. In 2012, he got the research project worth rupees 27 lakh under the scheme of Young Scientists from Science and Engineering Research Board, Government of India Enterprise, New Delhi. In future, he wants to explore more research opportunities in the field of renewable energy. So we are thankful, sir. You have got a rich experience. You have got such a rich profile, and we are lucky enough. We are fortunate enough to have you on this platform. Thank you. First of all, I would like to welcome you, and I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks for you to join this session, for accepting to be the resource person for this 7 days faculty development program on holistic development and outcome-based education in the light of NEP 2020. Thank you, sir. Welcome, and over to you, Professor Dr. Amit Sareen.
Yeah. First of all, thanks, Dr. Mukesh, for a very nice introduction. And I'm very much thankful to the organizers and the University of Engineering and Management, Jaipur. And regarding today's session, because my research area is, as sir, you have told that it's biofuel, but today's session is different. Different in the sense that it's mentoring and professional development role of faculty. The last few years, I'm also teaching this subject as a subject also. And according to me, this is the role of a teacher. Okay, so I hope so. Everyone will enjoy this session. This I will try. Okay. So Dr. Kalam, teaching is a very noble profession that shapes the character, caliber, and future of an individual. If the people remember me as a good teacher, that will be biggest honor for me. This is one of the quotes of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, and this is very, very beautiful line. Teaching is a very noble profession because in this FDP, teachers are attending, teachers are delivering lectures. Teaching is a very noble profession that shapes the character, caliber, and future of an individual. If the people remember me as a good teacher, that will be biggest honor for me. मतलब कितना ये beautiful line है कि टीचर का रोल सिर्फ टीच करना नहीं है. टीचर का रोल एक all great privileges carry great responsibilities. तो टीचर का रोल क्या है? बहुत ज्यादा रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी वाला है. उसको सिर्फ रोल ये नहीं है कि ओके आई हैव टू कवर द सिलेबस, that is perfect, but what else can a teacher do as a mentor? This I will try to share in this my session. Okay, teacher needs to pull out the student from difficulties, not the academic difficulties, maybe a career shaping role for a student. Student may not be aware about his future prospects. कई बार क्या होता है कि स्टूडेंट एडमिशन ले लेता है कि ओके मेरे को इसने बोला था इसमें एडमिशन ले लेना, उसको करियर पाथ पता ही नहीं होता कि मेरे को जाना कहाँ पर है. तो वहां पर रोल किसका रहता है? एक टीचर का रहता है. सबसे अहम टीचर का रोल रहता है. मैं अक्सर एज ए फैकल्टी मेंबर, एज ए मेंटर अपने स्टूडेंट से बात करता हूँ कि अगर आप भाई अपना स्लीपिंग टाइम निकाल दीजिए तो 24 आवर्स इन ए डे, 8 आवर्स आप घर पे रहते हो, 8 आवर्स आप अपने इंस्टीट्यूट में रहते हो, तो इक्वल टाइम इज देयर. सो दैट्स द रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ऑफ अ टीचर एंड अ स्टूडेंट आल्सो कि विद द टीम वर्क वो कैसे एक्सेल कर सकता है टीचर, स्टूडेंट कैसे एक्सेल कर सकता है और टीचर की लर्निंग भी कैसे होती है उसके साथ. तो मेंटोर, टीचर इज नॉट अ टीचर, टीचर इज अ मेंटोर because he or she manages many things. Okay, this is my definition of mentor. He manages many things. Okay, he has to encourage, he or she has to encourage the students to excel in his life. Okay, he has to nurture and of course cover the syllabus as because he is teaching, he or she is teaching. Teacher needs to offer opportunities, many opportunities to students. Teacher responds to mentees needs. Now what is the meaning of offers opportunities? बहुत ही पॉपुलर एक शो है कौन बनेगा करोड़पति, श्री अमिताभ बच्चन जी का. मेरे ख्याल से वहां पे लास्ट सीजन में एक लेडी आए थे जो आईएएस ऑफिसर थे, उनका प्लेसमेंट हो गया हुआ था. तो जब वो अपना प्लेसमेंट लेटर लेकर, अपना ऑफर लेटर लेके अपने प्रिंसिपल से मिले जाकर, तो प्रिंसिपल ने बोला कि नहीं बेटा, आप में कैपेबिलिटी ज्यादा है और आपका एप्टीट्यूड भी है, यू जस्ट ट्राई, यू जस्ट गो फॉर द यूपीएससी। क्योंकि वो टीचर, एज ए टीचर नॉट एज ए प्रिंसिपल, वो अपने स्टूडेंट को पहचान रहे थे कि नहीं, कि वो बच्चा ज्यादा एक्सेल कर सकता है अपनी फील्ड में और उसका एप्टीट्यूड भी ये है। ओके, और उस बच्ची ने तैयारी करी यूपीएससी की, और अभी वो हिमाचल में, आई थिंक सो, वहां पर वो एडीसी है, एसडीएम है, इस तरीके से उन्होंने करा। तो वहां पर देखिए टीचर का रोल कितना इंपॉर्टेंट रहा, बिकॉज द प्रिंसिपल ऑफर्स अपॉर्चुनिटीज देयर and encourages, E for encourages, and he encouraged that student to go for UPSC. Okay, that's the role of a mentor, that's the role of a teacher, that we need to offer opportunities, encourage our students that sky is the limit for you, that sky is the limit for you. Okay, so basis of mentoring, it's the mutual trust between teacher and student, it's a regular contact and conversation, desire for all-round development of mentee. This should be the desire for all-round development of mentee, of a teacher, of a mentor. So professional development should be the goal
Ex-
of.
Excuse, excuse me, sir. Just sorry to interrupt you. Like the slides are not moving, so we couldn't see the slide of APJ Abdul Kalam, sir, which you referred.
Slides are not moving from.
Right? Yeah. I mean, we could see only the first slide. After that,
Because from my side it's moving.
no. I think some participants have also sent this
Okay.
message.
I will just stop sharing and again I will try to share. Okay.
Right, right, sir. And also, like majority of the participants, they are from South India, and understanding Hindi would be a big challenge for
Fine.
them.
Fine.
Right,
Perfect. Perfect.
right.
That is
So,
perfect for me.
yeah,
First, I will try to solve this problem
right,
because
right.
from my end the slides are moving.
Yeah, yeah, sir, please.
First we will check that's okay. Now, is it visible
Yeah, it has come. The first slide is there. Now,
now?
yeah, now it's coming.
Uh, is it moving now?
Now it's not moving, sir.
Actually, when I am this
Yeah, now it's visible. Now it's moving.
एक्चुअली हो क्या रहा है कि जब मैं इसको स्लाइड शेयर में कर रहा हूँ बड़े साइज में, तब मूव नहीं कर रहा.
Right,
इन दिस साइज इट इज मूविंग.
right.
इज इट परफेक्ट नाउ?
Yeah, now we can see your first slide. Yeah, all the slides are moving.
Okay. So I will not enhance this slide. Okay.
Right,
Size of the slide.
right.
And I will, okay, I'm sorry for this. I will speak in English only.
That's fine, sir.
Fine.
Actually, I should have told you before that.
That is okay.
Right.
Okay, should I start again?
No, sir, that's fine. I mean, you can start from where you left. Like,
I will start from this slide. Okay,
Right.
again, start from this slide. Okay.
right, sir.
Okay. My voice is okay, na?
Right, sir. Absolutely.
Fine. Okay. And sorry for inconvenience. Okay, this is one of the famous quotes of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, that teaching is a very noble profession that shapes the character, caliber, and future of an individual. If the people remember me as a good teacher, that will be the biggest honor for me. Now, this is a very, very beautiful line. Teaching is a very noble profession because that shapes the character, caliber, and future of an individual. In this presentation, at the end, I will share the true story of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, that why he became Dr. Kalam. Okay, what was the role of his teacher? Okay, if the people remember me as a good teacher, that will be the biggest honor for me. There will not be more honor than the good teacher. Okay, that will be the biggest honor for me. So because it's a great privilege to be a teacher, but all great privileges carry great responsibility. Perfect. Because a teacher has to pull out his or her students from very difficult situations. Because according to me, teacher is not a teacher. Teaching is just a part of a mentor. Teacher is basically a mentor because M means manages many things. Teacher is managing many things, lots of things. Okay, we have managed so many things during COVID situation. Okay, so we are very capable that if we can do so many things during COVID, during lockdown. Okay, uh, teacher encourages his or her students. Teacher nurtures. Teacher teaches. He or she has to cover the syllabus. Teacher offers opportunities. Teacher responds to mentees needs. Now what I was sharing a story about Kaun Banega Crorepati, that Shri Amitabh Bachchan ji host, that a lady came there as a participant there, and she shared her original story that she got placement in a software company, and very happily she visited to her principal. Then her principal encourages her, offers opportunities to her, that beta, you have capability, you have aptitude to clear UPSC, you can become IAS. You should drop your placement offer and try for 1 or 2 years for the UPSC, because you have that skill. And she tried for the same and became an IAS officer. This is the role of a mentor. This is the role of a teacher. And teacher responds to mentees needs. Okay, so mentor manages many things, encourages students, nurtures students, teaches also, offers opportunities, responds to mentees needs. So basis of mentoring, what is the basis of mentoring? It's a mutual trust. It's a regular contact and conversation. It's a desire for all around the development of mentee. This is the basis of mentoring. And professional development, that is mentoring, that is consultation, that is practice, study, improve, reflection, learning. It's a mutual way. Okay. So main objectives of mentoring are: mentoring should be enriching for both mentor and mentee, because whenever a student will face challenge, then mentor will definitely face challenge. It will be the learning experience for a teacher then. Okay, because he or she will look after so many solutions. According to me, if there is any problem, there will be a solution also. Okay, there will be solution also. That's why there is a famous ad that idea can change your life. Okay, mentoring is about learning, it's not teaching. Mentoring is empowered to take responsibilities of his or her actions, to develop critical thinking. Okay, to share students with different problems, to different daily life problems, accept his syllabus, or maybe related to his syllabus, his or his syllabus. Okay, so that to develop critical thinking, to channelize energy in the right direction. This is very important thing, to channelize energy in the right direction. Okay, so role played by mentor, it's again teacher, guide, motivator, counselor, advisor, role model. Methods of mentoring, storytelling. I will share different stories during this presentation, because if I will just share slides, okay, so I think so participants will think that I'm just narrating these things. Okay, so I will share also real life stories with you, relevant stories, real life stories, engagement of mentee's view on story. Okay, so first thing is a true inspirational story of honesty. Okay, this is a real life story, a true inspirational story of honesty, a true story of Ivan and Abel. Okay, in December 2012, a race held at Spain's Spanish athlete Ivan Fernandez Anania was competing in a cross-country race. He was running second, some distance behind race leader Apple Madai, bronze medalist in 3000 meters steeplechase at the London Olympics. Close to finishing line, Ivan saw the Kenyan runner Abel mistakenly pull up about 10 meters before the finish, thinking he had already crossed the line. Ivan quickly caught up with him, but did not cross Abel and be a winner. He stayed behind and using gestures guided Abel to the line and let him cross first. Okay, I will again summarize the story. That there were two athletes, Ivan and Abel. Okay, Ivan close to the finishing line. He saw that Kenyan runner was ahead of the Ivan. Mistakenly he stopped and running about 10 meters before the finishing, thinking he had already crossed the line. Because Abel thought that he had already won the race, but it was not actually there. Ivan quickly caught up with him, but did not cross Abel and be a winner. He stayed behind and he guided using his gesture, guided the Abel to the line and let him cross first. Okay, so these are the real pictures of this race. When Ivan was asked what was the reason of doing it, he said, I didn't deserve to win it. I didn't deserve to win it. I did what I had to do. Abel Mutai was a rightful winner. He created a gap that I couldn't have closed if he hadn't made a mistake. As soon as I saw he was stopping, I knew I was not going to pass him. Further, he said, but even if they had told me that winning would have earned me a place in the Spanish team for the European Championship, I wouldn't have done it either. This was according to Ivan, because he told that I didn't deserve to win it, because Abel Mutai was the rightful winner. He created a gap that I couldn't have closed if he hadn't made a mistake. Okay, so victory is a sweetest when it's earned. When it's earned, Ivan replied to further query. My dream is that someday we can have a kind of community life. The journalist insisted again, but you could have won. Ivan replied again, but what would be the merit of my victory? What would be the honor of that medal? What would my mom think of that? Okay, see this very important line. What would be the honor of that medal? What would my mom think of that? I will just use a line in Hindi that is the कौन हीरो बना इसमें, वो कहते हैं ना हार कर भी जीतने वाले को हम मतलब बाजीगर बोलते हैं. Okay, Ivan is the hero here because Ivan preferred honesty to victory and became a world hero. Now this is the role of a mentor, this is the role of a teacher, because in today's world most of us wants to excel at any cost, because I might be wrong, because this is a factual position all around us, because honesty with this story and with these types of stories that we can share, there are so many stories available on internet in our daily life that we can share with our students, that Ivan preferred honesty to victory and became a world hero. Who became a world hero? Not Abel. Abel won the race, but Ivan became a world hero. Okay, so these type of stories I will share in this my presentation. This is little bit about the syllabus of IK Gujral Punjab Technical University that we are teaching here. The objective is overall personality. We are teaching aptitude, technical journal awareness, communication skills, presentation skills, experts video lectures, aptitude tests, GD quiz, presentation by students, team building exercises. Okay, and of course outdoor activities, sports, NSS, NCC, society activities. Okay, so there are so many inspiration that we can get from films like Tare Zameen Par. Tare Zameen Par is about 8-year-old Ishan suffering from dyslexia and none being aware of it. As he struggles to cope with academics, his new art teacher, Nikum, that is played by the Amir Khan, recognizes his issues and comes to his aid. Their relationships builds over time, and Ishan discovers not just cleaner handwriting, but a source of love and support in his teacher. That we can get inspiration from films also. Okay, there are so many wonderful work that teachers are doing. Okay, we have to be inspired from those teachers. Okay, like there is another picture, Hichki. There is another picture, I think so, if I'm not wrong, blackboard. Okay, so these type of pictures, teachers can get inspiration, students can get inspiration, that we have to identify the problems of our students. Our aim should not be just to cover the syllabus. Okay, so active listening skills, ask open-ended questions, request clarification, be attentive, summarize, paraphrase, reflect feelings, be attuned to feelings, ask probing questions. Okay, a good teacher is also a natural mentor. Mentors are friends, philosophers, guide to a student. A good mentor is the greatest blessings one can have in life. The task at hand on mentoring front in higher education is twofold. There is a difference between the roles a mentor can play in life of a student and the roles of a trainer possibly can play. Trainer as a skill builder may not touch the essential chord of a student life. A true inspiration to transformation of a student from what they are to what they can be. What they are to what they can be rest heavily on mentoring skills of faculty. The focus of mentoring, however, needs to show progression as the student progresses from entry to first year and to second year. It's through a good mentoring process that student can be enthused, inspired, motivated, directed towards realizing potential to achieve greater goals in life. There is again, I am repeating one line, there is trainer as a skill builder may not touch the essential code of a student life. We have to touch the essential code of a student life because a trainer can train a lion also. Okay, but role of a mentor is different. Fine. Acting as a sublime guide and greater rescuer can generate great outcome. A teacher who is deeply concerned about the success of students, both in their life and career, cannot afford to lose the opportunity to learn a bit about the art of mentoring. After all, neither teaching nor mentoring have been a naive job. There is a great deal one can learn and get trained in. Mentoring works well when students are made to go back to their strengths. We have to tell the students that these are your strengths and build upon these strengths. Sometimes as a teacher, we just try to work. Maybe as a teacher, maybe as a parent, we just try to work on the weakness. We forget that our kid has these many strengths also. Okay, if our kid got 80 marks out of 100, we just concentrate on 20 marks that he or she loses. We never concentrate, or many times we don't concentrate on the 80 marks. Okay, then we can build on that, how 80 can become 85, 90. Okay, so it's not about marks only. Okay, I occasionally told to my students, it's not about the quantity. We have to work for the quality. We have to work for the quality. Quality works. Quality is more important than the quantity. If we're teaching engineering student, if he or she is getting 80%, 85%, but he or she is not aware about how to face interview, how to participate in group discussion, how to work as a team worker. Individually, he or she is very good. He or she is the topper of the class. But if this is the case only, then companies will select on the basis of the written test only. Okay, companies select on the basis of written, on the basis of GD, on the basis of interview, on the basis of technical interview, on the basis of HR interview. Okay, so this is the role of a mentor, that we have to work on the personality, overall personality development of a student. Mentoring life cycle. Okay, this is closer, preparation, negotiation, enabling. Stage one, set expectations. Establish foundation for successful mentoring relationship. Agree on expectations. Set working assignments. Stage three, work towards accomplishing learning goals. Stage four, focus on closing former relationship. Redefine relationship moving forward. Mentorship is a relationship which a more experienced or more knowledgeable person helps or guides a less experienced or less knowledgeable person. Okay, so mentor can be a senior student to a junior student. Okay, mentor always guides and shows the right direction to the mentee and helps in finding solution to the problems. A mentor is a trusted advisor, guide, a friend also with a gap, little bit of gap. okay, or a teacher who endorses knowledge and insights to the mentee. Roles of a teacher as a mentor. In academics, mentor is often considered as a faculty advisor, but the role of mentor is not merely advising. It's a personal and professional relationship that shapes the attitude, molds the character, builds the future career of the students. Teachers as mentors need to be a different roles of a mentor. What are different roles? Supporter, counselor, advisor, colleague, leader, role model, guide, networker, friend. Supporter who encourages to learn and improve, guide who helps to find life direction, educator who educates life and career lessons, role model who models and inspires by their own life, listener who pays good attention, leader who influences and leads to attain goals, friend and colleagues who supports and admires, counselor who provides mental and emotional support, advisor who advises and corrects the mistakes, champion who fosters success, networker who helps in building connections to progress, problem solver who helps solving the problems. So these are the different roles, and there may be additional roles also. Okay. So there is again example of Savitribai Phule, why she is called the mother of modern girls' education. Impressed by her thirst for learning, Savitribai's husband Jyoti Rao taught her to read and write. Okay, the role of the husband in her life. Okay, this is very old story also. Becoming fond of teaching, Savitribai trained at Ms. Farrar's institution in Ahmednagar and in the Mishra's school in Pune to become the first female teacher who inspired young girls of her time to pursue education. At a time when the rights of women were almost non-existent, she, along with her husband, started the first women's school at Pune. It was the year 1848. The women's school had only 8 girls belonging to different castes. At that time, education for girls was considered a sin, and on her way to school, she was routinely harassed by orthodox men and threw stones, mud, rotten eggs, tomatoes, cow dung, and dirt at her. In the same year, she also founded other schools for women. For her, education was not simply alphabetical learning. Again, a very important line, but rather an evolution of the mind itself. It's not about that we are teaching alphabetical learning, but it's the evolution of the mind itself. It's not about the coverage of syllabus. Her innovative methods of teaching slowly attracted the common people as the number of girls increased from 25 to 70 during 1849-50. So I'm telling you the story of 1849-50. By 1851, she was running 3 schools with around 150 female students. To prevent children from dropping out of schools, Savitribai offered them stipends also. Okay, this is the role of a mentor. Arvind Gupta ji, a teacher who makes learning a fun activity. How we all wish we could learn science like this. Arvind Gupta here is such a fun teacher. He actually teaches science concepts in the process of creating toys. He creates these toys from trash, explaining the scientific stuff behind each one of the steps to making these toys. And I'm just sharing 2-3 examples here. There are so many examples in the India, outside India also. Okay, there are so many examples, and maybe from today's participant, today's audience, lots of teachers may be doing these things. Okay, Les Brown is one of the world's foremost motivational speakers. You go to the YouTube and you can listen his motivational lectures and thought leaders on self-improvement and goal setting, because he's a motivational speaker. However, it wasn't always that way for him. Born in Liberty City, Miami, on the floor of an abundant building, he has known struggle and hardship his entire life. Academically, Les was a struggling student from the get-go. The story goes during his school days, he was labeled as educable, mentally handicapped. By whom? By the academic intelligentsia of his day. They labeled them educable, mentally handicapped, and placed back from 6th grade to 5th grade. Okay, from sixth grade to 5th grade. To make matter worse, he had a twin brother who was exceptionally bright and gifted. And as such, Les became commonly referred to by his peer as DT, the dumb twin, because there is a comparison always. Okay, that's the mistake we as a teacher, we as a student, we as a parent, we usually do. Okay, we compare kids, we compare students. Okay, one day a teacher asked him to come up and solve a problem on the chalkboard, but Les refused and said he couldn't. Of course you can. The teacher respondedly, encouragingly, mentor, E for encourages. Okay, encouragingly. Young man, come up here and solve the problem for me. Okay, the teacher told him, but I can't, insisted Les. I am educable, mentally handicapped. Because it was in his mind. Who imbibed this thing is his mind, his teachers, and who encourages that you are not like this, his teacher. There is now comparison between two teachers, two type of teachers. The rest of the class erupted in laughter. At that point, the teacher stopped out from behind his desk and looked Les straight in the eye. Don't ever say that again, Les, he told him firmly. Someone else's opinion of you does not have to become your reality. Someone else's opinion, again, a very beautiful line. Someone else's opinion of you does not have to become your reality. I might, I might be a good teacher. I might be a good person for someone. I might be a good teacher or not be a good person or not be a good teacher for another person. But if I am doing my best, then someone else's opinion of you does not have to become your reality. If I'm honest with myself, if I'm doing my best for my kids, for my students, for my family, then doesn't matter. Then any doesn't matter for me. Okay, anything. Let's never forgot those words and spent the rest of his life overcoming incredible odds and pursuing his goals with passion and fervor. Time and time again, thanks to that one teacher's powerful revelation, Les has lived the phrase he's famous for all over the world. You have greatness within you. He oftenly used this line in his motivational lectures that you have greatness within you. You have greatness within you. Okay. Bill Gates, we all know this personality. Okay. Gates sets the stage for this tale on his blog. Okay, Gates has written this blog and I have recreated the same here. When I first met Mrs. Caffier, she was an elegant and engaging school librarian at Seattle's View Ridge Elementary, and I was a timid fourth grader. I was desperately trying to go unnoticed. Okay, well, the students sometimes they try to be backbencher only. Okay, because I had some big deficits like atrocious handwriting, and I was trying to hide the fact that I like to read something that was cool for the girls but not for boys. Mrs. Caffer took me under her wing and helped make it okay for me to be a messy, nerdy boy who was reading lots of books. He credits Mrs. Caffer, his teacher, for helping him escape his shell in the true spirit of exceptional teaching. First, she encouraged Gates' passion for reading by helping him explore it through the use of introspective questions, such as what he liked to read and why. Next, she would go out of her way to source books that were progressively more interesting and challenging for him, for Gates. Finally, once he had read them, she would sit down with him, ask him if he liked what he had read, and more importantly, what he had learned and why. She generally listened to what I had to say, Gates recalled. In 2006, shortly after reaching her 100th birthday, his teacher sadly passed away, but not before Gates was able to thank her personally for the lasting impact her love and curiosity had on his life. So, what we can learn from this short story of Mr. Gates, because that his teacher worked on his strength, that is reading, not on his weakness, that is bad handwriting. If we will work on the strength, the weaknesses, the weaknesses will be, I think so, will be improved automatically. Okay, so this is a lesson that we can learn from this short story shared by Mr. Gates. So mentorship is more holistic and based on fulfilling a vision. Explain everything you do. The more practical tips you can give them, the better. Area of improvement. Don't tell that these are your weaknesses. I never told my students that this is your weakness. I always told my students that this is better your area of improvement. You may be tempted to give only positive feedback, but this is the worst thing you can do. Pre-service teachers are learning and thus desperately need constructive feedback. Of course, you need to tell them what they are doing right, but you also need to show them what they're doing wrong, but with a different way and how they can do it better. Ask them what questions they have, simple but important. Just ask them often what questions they have. Be encouraging. Remember to encourage them often. Remember how intimidating student teaching was for you and be sure to give your student teacher a healthy dose of encouragement. Mentoring, great for learning how to navigate complex social situations. Teaching is what? Teaching is normally has a greater theoretical knowledge of a topic than the student. Teaching is this, that we have more knowledge of a syllabus than the student. But mentoring is great for learning how to navigate through complex social situations, academic situations, practical situations. Mentoring is based on a relationship between mentor and mentee. Teaching comes from a set of predefined rules that these are the credits, these are the hours, these are the syllabus we have to cover in 40 lectures, 45 lectures we have to cover, such as curriculum or an education system. Teaching comes from the mentor's lived experience and wisdom. Results less quantifiable and more based on personal fulfillment. The mentor wills the mentees to self-discipline. The main goal of the teacher is for the student to get great grades, only grades. The teacher instills learning through authority. When do you need a mentor? Here are examples. Seeking guidance for career progression. Learning how to build a company from a founders who's been there. Learning actionable tips and tricks to ace projects and challenges. When do you need a teacher? Here are examples. Passing a certification or an exam, learning the fundamentals behind a field or topic, learning the framework that your industry is based upon. So this is a broad a difference, or even I can say the thin line difference, so not a broad difference, thin line difference between mentoring and teaching. So mentorship is based on building a relationship between mentor and mentee. Mentorship is a two-way street. As a mentor instructs the mentee, a closer bond forms between both of them. This relationship is fundamental behind every great mentorship. If this relationship does not exist, the mentee will be less likely to follow the mentor's guidance or even trust what they have to say. Down the line, this relationship between the teacher and student can develop to that of a mentor and mentee. As such, a person can be both a teacher and mentor at the same time. A mentor guides you, a teacher teaches. Mentorship are based on a mentor's effective guidance of the mentee's growth, whether professional or personal. As such, this is hard to quantify and is largely based on how the mentee decides to proceed following the mentor's advice. On the other hand, a teacher instructs you on a subject matter based on a set of predefined criteria. Most of the time, the main goal of the teacher is to make sure that their students get great grades. Teaching is about knowledge. Mentoring is about experience. Teaching focuses on the how. Mentoring focuses on the why. Before you can design a bridge or a skyscraper, you have to understand how to calculate equation and engineer the right angles. That require teaching. Okay. But mentoring focuses more on applying knowledge in practice, not just how to do something, but why it's useful. Mentors impart their wisdom, practical insights, and creativity to encourage learners to express which one is right for me. Teachers can be mentors and mentors can be teachers. Both have an important and necessary place in education. Both have an important role. Okay. Teacher is needed there. Mentors are needed there also. Teacher's first priority may be instruction, because as a teacher, our first goal is to cover syllabus also. Okay, side by side, maybe for 10 minutes, maybe one lecture in a week, fortnightly, maybe continue practice. Okay, they can be creative, interactive in their approach. They recognize and foster individuality. creativity, become mentors in their own right. And while a mentor's priority is on a personal development, the mentees must possess know-how skills, and so mentoring will always have an instructional competent. Team building exercises. Okay, it's a team building exercise. So I will narrate a story of tortoise and the hare. Tortoise and a hare. The very famous age old fable story. Okay, so once there was a tortoise, once there was a hare, and once they thought that let's have a race. Okay, and the hare or rabbit uh, started to race very fast. He started to run very fast, and then he thought that okay, let's have a sleep because the tortoise is very far behind me. And he slept, and tortoise slowly and steadily he crossed tortoise crossed the rabbit and won the race. Okay, and when rabbit wake up, then of course he lost the race. And what we learned from this story, moral of the story was slow and steady wins the race. Slow and steady wins the race. This is very old story. Okay, but next day, the rabbit or the hare, he thought that okay, if I will not, if I would, if I wouldn't sleep on that day, then of course I will win the race. And he challenges the tortoise, and again they have a race. Now this time, the of course who will win? Of course, the rabbit will win, because he the first moral was slow and steady, but in the second story he ran continuously. Fast and steady win the race. Okay, fast and steady won the race. Okay, because he didn't sleep during the second race. Third time, the tortoise thought that okay, by this method I can never win. I can never win, because by nature, by grace of God, rabbit is always faster than the tortoise. Then then he offered a proposal to the rabbit that let's have a race again, but on a different route. But on a different route. Okay. Rabbit agreed spontaneously. Now they have a race again. They have a race again. Now this time on the route there was a river. On the route there was a river. When rabbit reached at river, now he will not be able to cross the river, but tortoise slowly he crossed the river. Now who won this time? The tortoise. Because why? He worked on his strength. Tortoise worked on his strength. Okay, is it's about the working on the strengths. It's not the working on the weaknesses. He thought about his strength. Tortoise thought about his strength and worked on it and changed the route according to that and won the race. Fourth time, both became very good friends. Okay, they again choose the path of the river, and this time, till the river, till the river, uh, the tortoise sat on the back of the rabbit, and while crossing the river, the rabbit sat on the tortoise back to cross the river. It's about the teamwork now. Best result, because this time in the shortest duration and with the teamwork, they crossed the river and the total pass. So these are the four morals. In the first story, when the tortoise won, slow and steady wins the race. In the second story, when the rabbit won, it's good to be slow and steady, but it's better to be fast and reliable. Third story, third story, when again tortoise won, because he tortoise changed the route. First, identify your core strength and then change the playing field to suit your core strength. Okay, don't always thought about this is my weakness, this is my weakness. Identify your core strength and then change the playing field to suit your core strength. Fourth story about the team building. It's good to be individually excellent and to have a strong core strength, but unless you are able to work in a team and harness each other's strengths, you will always perform below par, because there will always be situations at which you shall do poorly and someone else does well. Okay, so it's always The teamwork is always better. So fourth story moral is always better. Okay. So again, team building skills for college students, attitude of collaboration. Projects or class grades may depend on success or teamwork. A positive and collaborative attitude is appreciated not only by fellow students but also by teachers. Leadership. Some students assert themselves as a leader and start delegating tasks while others get involved as requested. It is important to develop leadership skills. Communication. Communication practice confidence, interpersonal skills, sharing ideas, listening effectively, engaging in conversation with others. Ultimately, this will help you bond with your classmates and produce better work. Conflict resolutions. There may be conflict at many situations. Having different perspectives, ideas is healthy. Learn to consider each other's views without being easily offended. Always have a respectful attitude towards your teammates. So we can have different team building exercises, activities. So I'm sharing few of the exercises like guess the task. Now here, as a teacher, targeted skill, creativity. The skill we are targeting here is creativity and innovation. Objective is encourage participants to be creative in problem solving. Materials needed, photos of random objects on a folded piece of paper placed in a jar. The activity, randomly ask participants to pick a paper, stand in front of the group, let the participant illustrate the use of the item in the photo. The rest of the team is supposed to guess what the image the participant is trying to demonstrate. Here, the participant should try as much as possible to be creative and offbeat in his demonstration. Transferable skill. It prompts participants to find solutions to task quickly by accurately associating differently processes in the workplace. The narrator challenge. Targeted skill is positive thinking. Objective is encourage participants to see their past challenges as a learning experience. Materials needed none. Activity. What's the activity? Ask participants to be in groups of two. Let one participant narrate to his or her partner a past unfortunate occurrence. It can be a work or non-work related experience. It can be academic or non-academic experience. Ask the other participant to step forward and tell the rest of the group about the occurrence, but only dwell on the positive aspects of the whole experience. Positive aspects of the whole experience. Ask the participants to change roles and repeat the exercise. Transferable skills. This activity helps team members to see the break in the clouds when they handle tasks that they struggle to accomplish. Any failure should be viewed as an opportunity to learn and improve. Okay, so this is the this by this team building activity we can learn the positive thinking. The presenter challenge. Now again, the targeting skill is brainstorming. Objective is encourage participants to use their imagination in coming with suggestions before a brainstorming session. Materials needed none. Activities, quickly share with the group of a topic that you will discuss later in the workshop. Ask the group participant to list 3 things they feel they will contribute to the discussion. Okay. Ask the group participant to list 3 things they will contribute to the discussion. Randomly pick and ask a participant to share what or she wrote, he or she wrote. Transferable skill instills the habit of holding productive meetings through active participation and prior planning. Build trust for your team members using nostalgia. Okay. In a class, if you are sharing a post, if you are sharing a story, okay, try to for your team members by using trust, by building trust, by using nostalgia. What is your favorite childhood memory? What was the best present for you ever received? Who was your role model growing up? What was the best birthday of your life? Okay, remember when you friends sit with each other, okay, and then you discuss about your childhood. Well, there is always an emotional things that come up there. Okay, so what have been the highlights of your life? Fine. So build trust for your team members by using nostalgia. I hope so. You are identifying this picture. This picture is of Sachin Tendulkar with his coach. Okay, with his coach. That is Sachin Tendulkar. This is a tweet by Sachin ji. Thinking of a person very close to my heart, who helped countless young cricketers, including me. to realize their potential. Again, a very important line. To realize their potential through the power of sport and character. Okay, thank you everything, Achrekar sir. I repeat it again because this is very beautiful line. Thinking of a person very close to my heart who helped countless young cricketers, including me, to realize their potential through the power of sport and character. Now think about as a teacher that after 20 years, after 30 years, after your retirement, whenever your student will meet you, will he or she repeat this line for you? Okay, this is the assignment for all of us, including me, including me. That am I trying to encourage my students to realize their potential? In this case, in the case of Sachinji, is through the power of sport. In our case, is the power of academics, is the power of professional development, it's the power of the character. Okay, for a academician, I am telling. Okay, so coach is job oriented and performance oriented. So it's a short and term. Mentoring focus on person, their career, overall growth. It's about knowledge, mentoring process, increase motivation, specific needs, friendly manner, new perspectives, improve confidence, fast track learning, constructive feedback, one-on-one group mentoring, types of mentoring. One-on-one is their mentoring and group mentoring is also there. Okay. If there is, we can do one-on-one mentoring also. We can do mentoring in the group also. Benefits to mentor. Mentors gain personal and professional satisfaction in helping a youth. Mentors gain recognition from their peers. Okay, when we deliver a very good lecture, when we came out of the classroom, we definitely feel a internal satisfaction. Okay, so mentors gain personal professional satisfaction in helping a youth. Mentors gain recognition from their peers. Mentor gain improved interpersonal skills. Mentor focuses the mentor outside of him and herself. Mentoring promotes deeper understanding of teen and societal problems. Benefits to youth. Mentees exposes youth to a positive role model. Help to focus youth on their future, on setting academic and career goals. Exposes youth to new experiences and people from diverse cultural, socio-economic, professional backgrounds. Provides youth with attention and a concerned friend. Encourages emotional and social growth. Fosters increased confidence and self-esteem. Now, influence of a science teacher on life of Dr. Kalam. That I told you that I will share a real life story that how Dr. Kalam became a Dr. Kalam. I maybe many of us aware about this story, but I will again share it. Okay, this is from the website that is that is abdulkalam.nic.in. He wrote there that when I think of my teacher, I am reminded of my childhood days when I was studying in fifth class at the age of 10. Fifth class. Okay, at the age of 10. I had a teacher, Shri Siva Subramania Iyer. All of us loved to attend his class and hear him. Now, one day he was teaching about birds' flight, how a bird flies. He drew a diagram of a bird on the blackboard depicting the wings, tail, body structure with the head. He explained how the birds create the lift and fly. Theoretically, he is teaching all these things. He also explained to us how they change direction while flying. Nearly for 25 minutes, he gave the lecture with various information such as lift, drag, how the birds fly, and information of 10, 20, or 30 of groups of birds. At the end of the class, he wanted to know whether we understood how the birds fly. I said, I did not understand how the birds fly. When I said this, the teacher asked other students whether they understood or not. Many students said they also did not understand. He did not get upset by our response since he was a committed teacher. That if a student is telling that, sir, I am, sir or ma'am, I am not getting this point. So the teacher is not getting upset. Our teacher said that he would take all of us to the seashore. That evening, the whole class was at the seashore of Rameshwaram. We enjoyed the roaring sea waves, Dr. Kalam wrote there. We enjoyed the roaring sea waves knocking at the sandy hills in the pleasant evening. See the writing art of the Dr. Kalam. That's why he wrote many books. Okay. Birds were flying and the sweet chirping voice, with sweet chirping voice. He showed the sea birds in formations of 10 to 20 numbers. We saw the marvelous formation of birds with a purpose, and we were all amazed. He showed us the birds and asked us to see that when the birds fly, what they looked like. We saw the wings flapping. He asked us to look at the tail portion with a combination of flapping wings and the twisting tail. Okay, birds were flying with sweet chirping voice. He showed the sea birds in a formation of 10 to 20 numbers. He asked us to look at the tail portion with a combination of flapping wings and twisting tail. We noticed closely and found that the birds in that condition flew in the direction they desired in that condition. Then he asked us a question where the engine is and how it is powered. Okay, where the engine is in the bird and how it is powered. Bird is powered by its own life and the motivation of what it wants. Bird is powered. Again, Dr. Kalam wrote there, the bird is powered by its own life and the motivation of what it wants. All these things were explained to us within 15 minutes. 15 minutes. We all understood the whole bird dynamics from this practical example. In which class? Fifth grade. What age? Age of 10. How nice it was. Our teacher was a great teacher. He could give us a theoretical lesson coupled with a live practical example available in nature. This is the real teaching. Dr. Kalam wrote there, this is the real teaching. Okay. Now, this type of teaching depends upon class to class, but we can share practical example in every class, from nursery to undergraduate to PG to PhD to postdoc. Okay. So I'm sure many of the teachers in schools and colleges will follow this example, For me, again, Dr. Kalam is writing there, for me, it was not merely an understanding of how a bird flies. The bird's flight enter into me. Enter into me means enter into the mind of the Dr. Kalam and created a special feeling. From that evening, at the age of 10, I thought that my future study has to be with reference to flight and flight systems only. I'm saying this because my teacher's teaching and the event that I witnessed decided my future career at the age of 10. I'm saying this because my teacher's teaching and the event that I witnessed decided my future career. Then one evening after the classes, I asked the teacher, sir, please tell me how to progress further in the learning all about flight. He patiently explained to me that I should complete 8th class, then go to high class, and then I should go to the engineering college that may lead to education on flight. Okay, if I complete all my education with excellence, I might do something connected with flight sciences. This advice and the bird flying exercise given by my teacher really gave me a goal and a mission for my life. Now, thought about it. If the teacher of Dr. Kalam advice of bird flying exercise given by my teacher really gave a goal to whom? To Dr. Kalam and mission for my life. If this thing did not happen, then where will be Dr. Kalam? Okay, where will be our missile man? Where will be our missile technology? Of course, technology may be there but the mind, the attitude, the aptitude of the Dr. Kalam, who encourages, who nourished the teacher of the Dr. Kalam. These are the words, this advice and the bird flying exercise given by my teacher really gave me a goal, give your student a goal, give your student a mission for the life. Okay. When I went to college, again, Dr. Kalam is writing, when I went to college, I took physics. When I went to engineering in Madras Institute of Technology, I took aeronautical engineering. And rest is history. As said, okay, then rest is history. Thus, my life was transformed as a rocket engineer, aerospace engineer, and technologist. That one incident of my teacher teaching the lesson in class 5th at the age of 10, showing the visual live example, proved to be a turning point in my life, which eventually shaped my profession. I'm repeating this line, which eventually shaped my profession. Okay, so this is the role of a mentor. This is the role of a teacher to shape the career, to shape the profession of a student. Now it's in Hindi by Sant Kabir Das ji. Guru Gobind दो खड़े काके लागो पाए बलिहारी गुरु आपने गोविंद दियो बताए. Meaning is the meaning is कबीर दास जी ने इस दोहे में गुरु की महिमा का वर्णन किया है. वे कहते हैं कि जीवन में कभी भी ऐसी परिस्थिति आ जाए कि जब गुरु और गोविंद ईश्वर, गोविंद मीन्स ईश्वर, एक साथ खड़े मिले तो पहले किन्हें प्रणाम करना चाहिए? गुरु ने ही गोविंद से हमारा परिचय कराया है. द गुरु ओनली दैट इज शोइंग द पाथ टू मीट द गॉड. गुरु ने ही गोविंद से हमारा परिचय करवाया है, इसलिए गुरु का स्थान गोविंद से भी ऊंचा है. सो विद दीज वर्ड्स आई एम थैंकफुल. I hope so that I have that you enjoyed this my little bit of effort. Thank you, thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. We can take a few questions with your permission. Like,
Yeah, sure.
yeah, if anyone having any question, they may please put up question to Professor Sarin, sir, Professor Dr. Amit Sareen, sir. I think, sir, this is also endorsed and emphasized by AICTE to run mentor-mentee program in all engineering institutions all across India, also in the technical universities. And what I feel is still teachers don't realize the importance of mentor-mentee program in the institutions. So, and at many a times I have seen teachers complaining that they have a session, mentor-mentee session with the students, but the students don't turn up.
Yeah.
So how can these teachers build confidence among the students that it is really going to help them, and how can we ensure that the mentors, they do their duty and they perform it religiously, and so could you throw some more light on it?
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Mukesh, for this query. I think so. We should not stress upon this like this, that there should be a special lecture for this program that is mentor. As a program by AICTE in our university, curriculum is there. But like that, I have shared the story of Dr. Kalam. In our curriculum, there are so many theoretical things that we can explain them practically also. In our academic classroom or during coverage of syllabus, we can have 10 minutes or 15 minutes or 5 minutes daily on daily basis, or after maybe fortnightly or weekly, where we can share these type of stories. Now, what is the meaning of these type of stories? I have shared the stories of Bill Gates. I have shared the stories of Ivan and Apple. I have shared the story of Switri Baiji. है ना? I have shared the stories of inspiration films. Now, when we will do these type of, we will share these type of stories or these type of activities, team building exercises, positive team building exercises in our classroom also with our normal academic curriculum. I'm not telling that we can do it regularly, but maybe weekly, fortnightly, then of course students will always be tempted to attend the class. Okay, and this is the only method that we have to run it parallel, that with our theoretical things we have to do some practical, share practical examples, do practical things. According to me, this is the only solution for this.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. And I do agree with you. And I remember in when we were first exposed to reading, and I remember we had this book where we had 10 eminent personalities or the successful people. So I had this book in school education, and in through that the stories, through the life of these people. Like I remember one of them was Ma'am Curie,
Yeah.
who invented radium, right?
Yeah.
I mean, she was so involved in her research that she herself, got captivated or get it somehow uh, got this radioactive element, and because of that she even
With
has
the Nobel
to
Prize.
lose her life,
Yeah.
right? So but her contribution was more important than uh, what she achieved.
Yeah.
Also, we had this Dr. Ambedkar. So Dr. Ambedkar, like if you see the life history of Dr. Ambedkar, so I was surprised to know that there were several attempts to kill that person, to just kill him, because they disliked him. They can't see the success he achieved, and the knowledge he had.
Mhm.
So there are so many people around us. There are so many successful people around us. There, even in our neighborhood, we could find people. So they are the real inspiration. Through through these stories, we can really.
Yeah,
mm,
mentoring, I think so. Mentoring is not about curriculum coverage only.
right,
I have shared the example of Bill Gates. I have shared the example of Mr. Les. Okay,
right,
the teacher encourage them in their classrooms. Okay.
correct. That's true. Is there any other question from the audience?
Yeah, thank you very much, Amitji. This is Nanduri Rajgopal from Central University of Himachal Pradesh.
Okay.
I was very carefully listening to your deliberation and really appreciate, this kind of innovative ideas through which we are supposed to teach and reach out to our students. Nowadays, we hardly find, and I'm really surprised that once upon a time when we had Gurukulas, at that
Okay.
time, acharyas were there to take them to the real field and show them how they can inculcate those things and how they get inspired, getting first-hand information as shown to them by acharyas at that time. And at the same time, we have now, I'm really surprised that how UGC has introduced RPE, that's Research and Publication Ethics for Research Scholars throughout our country, with a view that they may have seen the people in the academia, that we are finding that along with this inspiration, even moral education also is becoming very important nowadays. Uh, that's what one feels like, when UGC introduces a course like ethics, publication ethics. So I'm also finding the same when I have to teach PhD scholars. But I agree with you in toto, and the kind of examples that you have given. Really, it shows that we, as a teacher, we as teachers, we have to see that we are creating an atmosphere, taking them out of the four walls and inspiring them, whatever subject that we have. The way you gave one very prominent example of how Abdul Kalam's Guruji took him and showed him the way how he has to learn. So I really appreciate and thank you for your this wonderful, beautiful lecture. And at the same time, my all thank to the organizers as well. Thank
Thank
you
you.
very much.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot for your nice words. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for such an encouraging words. Thank you so much. Is there anyone else? May okay, I think we are uh, okay, sir. I think we should call off now. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for being the resource person and taking up such an important topic. I was actually looking for someone to take up this topic, and you agreed to speak on this topic. And the way you have explained through real life examples, that is also remarkable. So I thank you for joining this session and for being the resource person for this session. And you have justified your presence. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Mukesh, and all the organizers and University of Engineering and Management, Jaipur. Thanks a lot. Thanks to all the participants. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you
Okay.
so much.
Yeah. May I leave now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So thank you to all the participants for joining this session. We will now be meeting at 1:30 p.m. and I request everyone to be present in the valedictory session. And as I said before, that I would be requesting you to share your experiences. So please, some of you should be prepared. However, I have thought of few names. They should be prepared, and if they on the spot also, if someone wants to speak, they can share their experience. I would request Dr. Snehata ma'am to share her experiences, Mr. Gaurav Goswami to share, Dr. P. Sambat to share, Dr. Naveen to share something with us, Dr. Matusi Singh to share, because I have been following that they have regularly attended the all the sessions. Anbu Moji, direction, Miss Direction, please do share some of your experiences. Dr. Devki, Noel Daliwala, Sachikananda. So I mean, I'm not just these are random names which clicked to my mind. So I thought at least there should be someone who should share the experience instead of mm, that instead of not no one shares. So that situation should not happen. So thank you everyone. Thank you for sharing. And uh, I think something which I was talking about yesterday also, I think I would again reiterate that we all should respect time. Now, respect time means this I observed in United States when I went to US to complete one of the TESOL course. So those who are from English background might be knowing it. It's teaching English to the speakers of other languages. So it was a 1 month course, and my university in Saudi Arabia, they sponsored me to attend this 1 month TESOL program from New York. So in the beginning, I was very enthusiastic, and I was so happy that I got this opportunity to join this course. And I thought this is a 1 month course. I will have fun. I will have enjoyment there, and it will be a chance for me to move around New York. And my all my dreams, they got collapsed in a way that when I joined this course, so the classes were from 8 to 8, and they used to give me so much of they used to give us so much of assignments and journals to write, so much of uh, homework kind of things they used to give us, that after attending their classes from 8 to 8, we were left with no time to move around. It was like there was so much pressure to complete the assignments. You have to prepare journals for the next day. So whole in this 1 month, I worked which I could have done in next 6 months. So they made me to work like anything, and that's the first time when I realized, oh, these Americans, they are not just fun-loving people. They really work hard, and they and their lectures are so well designed. Suppose it's a 2 hours lecture, so they will start exactly at time and they will finish at time. Even their lesson plans are so well organized. It could never happen that you would finish before time, or the lecture is exceeding after after the end of the class. It would never happen. And the way they designed their lesson plan, even every 15 minutes, every 20 minutes, they had already had there in their mind, and they want the result in the same class, the outcome, that the outcome based education we are talking about. So suppose you are teaching some topic, so they want their students to showcase whether they have really actualized, whether they have internalized the rules and the things they have taught. So they want to see it in every class. So there will be reflection session in every class. There will be journals to write. There will be assignments. There will be group assignments. There will be individual assignments. So there was a hell lot of work. So so there's so much to learn from Americans. I mean, they are very particular about timing, and in India also, I expect from our teachers to prepare their lectures properly. When you go to the class, you should be you should have this: what is the objective of my this particular lecture? What should students learn? So students will, so they in in our language we call it swebat, which means students would be able to, what they should be able to after the end of your class, before the end of your class, like they should reflect it. They should reflect it within that class only, that yes, they have understood this concept, they know, and they have internalized this particular rule, and they know how to apply it. So, and they have to demonstrate it. They have to demonstrate it in the class itself. So there are even uh, when I used to stay, when I used to come, when used to stay there, so the timings of the metros or the buses absolutely defined. If there is a train at 11:01 a.m., that means that will leave at 11:01 a.m. You have, there's no excuse. I mean, that it will be delayed or something. So the way they planning. And another thing which I learned from there is these people have habit of developing some hobby. So they try to utilize their time for doing constructive things. So you will find people going for karaoke, for fishing, for let's say swimming, or photography, or they will go out for picnic at different places. So they have a hobby. I mean, so they do it by interest. And those people who are in higher education, they are there by interest, not by force. Like if you see in Indian scenario, I have seen many teachers who join teaching profession for their livelihood. Please, if you are not passionate about teaching, then this profession is not good for you. You can excel somewhere else, but uh, not in not in teaching, because teaching is a challenge. Teaching is a it's a challenge. Don't take teaching so easy, because I have seen many teachers who are very reluctant to teach in the class. They go, you look at their body language, they go, as if someone is forcing them to go to the class, and you have to monitor their uh, activities. So that should not be the case. You should have teacher within you. right? You should have teacher within you. No one should, you don't need any supervisor to look after you. You know your class timings, you know when to start, when to end, you know your syllabus, you know how can you teach well. And believe me, mm, you will get the feedback instantly, in the sense, in the class itself you will know, come to know whether you have taken a good class, whether students have understood it or not. From, you can read it from their, you can read it from their face expressions. You can, if you are a good teacher, definitely when you move out, you will find students wishing you, they will respect you. So so if you are a knowledgeable teacher, if you are a good teacher, then definitely students will respect you. But if you are in this profession just for livelihood, and you think uh, they are, I am getting some meager amount and I will do only this much work, so that means you are playing with the career of people, you are playing with the life of people. I remember in the very first lecture, Professor Neeraj Gupta sir also said that if you can't send your kids to mm, to some institution, uh, to the institution where you are working, then there is no point of working in that institution. So you have to see that you have to make your institution better place, so that not only your kids, but those who have sent their kids, they can get appropriate education. So that's a few things which I wanted to discuss with you. So I just shared it with you. And always always remember that teacher should had a upper hand in the class. You, because you being the leader in the class, so you should be able to create an environment of learning. Make a conducive environment where there is a discussion, where there is learning, and you could really share the knowledge with them. Mm, so that's all about for today. I think we are uh, almost done with the time also for today's session. Thank you. Thank you so much. These things were, they were just coming up, hovering over my mind. So I thought of taking use of this time, because the session was supposed to be till 12. So I took this opportunity, and I, uh, I interacted and I spoke to you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Uh, Thank you, everyone, for attending this FDP. We are done with all the sessions now. Only now formalities are left. We have this valedictory session at 1:30 p.m. So we'll be meeting again at 1:30. Thank you, all of you, for joining and for making this FDP successful. Your presence means a lot for us, and I hope we have our session speakers have delivered mm, stuff to you which could help you and further enhance if in your holistic development, and further enhancing your personal and professional skills. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. We'll see you again at in the valedictory session. Thank you, all of you. You can leave this meeting now. Thank you so much.